It is Group 1 racing for the final time this season at Sha Tin on Sunday with an 11-race program, and the features over the mile and a half. The Standard Chartered Champions and Chater Cup is the one that takes a centre stage. Joined in the studio by Paul Lully and Tom Wood. And Tom, plenty of races, Group 1 racing, and not a bad support card. Yeah, it's a pretty good support card, Mark. Hello to you and hello everyone. There's plenty to look forward to for sure in terms of the Group 1. Of course, Romantic Warrior looking to become a 4-time Group 1 winner, and Russian Emperor looking to go back-to-back like he did last year. Romantic Warrior stepping up to 2,400 metres for the first time, and you can give us some jackpot news too, Paul.
Yeah, some good jackpots as well. 6.6 million going into the triple trio, so that should get up to 12 million, and 10.8 million going into the 6-up win bonus. That's the biggest one we've had for a little while, so they get up to about 18 million, so it's definitely worth having a crack at.
Supposed to be fine and hot too, so you shouldn't have to worry about any rain-affected track this Sunday. But there are some horse withdrawals that we need to pass on. Race 2, number 3, Romantic Charm, is out. So race 2, number 3 is gone. Race 5, number 4, Aestheticism, has been replaced by Dan Attack. Luke Ferraris takes the ride in the 5th. Race number 6, Goal Oriented, is out. Brave and Bold for John Size and Derek Lund come in as the new number 12. On to the meeting details for Sunday. We've got a Griffins race to get us underway as we see an overhead shot of Sha Tin. For meeting number 74, all races on the turf, and the A course will be in operation. 12:30 for the Griffins. The two races that we feature: race 8, the 405, the Standard Chartered Champions and Chater Cup at Group 1, and the Class 2 Vengeance of Rain handicap at 20 minutes to 5 o'clock. It is the Group 1, though, that we do feature first on the show. Race number 8 with Romantic Warrior stepping up in distance to the mile and a half. Zach Burton takes the ride for Danny Shum. Russian Emperor ran 6th in the Queen Mother Memorial but carries 9 pounds less. Senor Toba, he had mucus after running 11th last time. Money Catcher, he ran 2nd over 2,100 metres prior to arriving, 8th over 2,400 metres in the New Zealand Derby. Panfield Aurora last time. Straight Aaron's won 3 of his last 4. Natural Storm went the race of his life by running 3rd in a Group 3 company last time, and down the bottom is 5G Patch with Alexi Bedell riding for Tony Cruz. Money Catcher here, Tom, he likes to lead and he may get it uncontested. Yeah, there's going to be no pace in this race at all, Mark, with him up front sitting the tempo. There was no pace last time at all in the Queen Mother Memorial Cup, and of course he wasn't in that race, but he will set a very steady tempo here, one would think. Romantic Warrior shouldn't be too far away, Paul. He'll sit very close and follow the leader everywhere. Senor Toba should receive a much more economical run than he did last time out.
Yeah, had excuses last time as well, but look, up to 2,400 metres, they're normally quite positive with him in a small field. Columbus County, his stablemate, won't be too far away. Panfield and Straight Aaron, of course, Casper Found's got 3 of the runners. He should be back towards the back, but it's going to be quite a compact field of it.
It is, as we have a look at the previous winners, Tom, for the last 5 years, and 2 of them are in this field this year.
They are. Panfield and Russian Emperor, of course, Exultant, won it in back-to-back years, and one of the best we've seen here for a long time, Paul. Pakistan Star a few years back as well.
Yeah, exactly. So some good horses have won it over the years, and of course Russian Emperor, he won 2, and he has won 1 this season, but all not beat in Hong Kong.
He did indeed. Ventured to the Middle East to win that one. Zach Burton, he's taking the ride on Romantic Warrior in the feature race. He has ridden him in track work and also at the trials, and Nick spoke to Zach yesterday morning.
Yeah, I've done a fair bit of work on him throughout the season and haven't been able to ride him in a race yet, so it'll be nice to get on his back on race day. It's going to be a big test for him, going to 2,400 for the first time. He's obviously the quality horse in the race, but he did win over 1,200 early in his career. And it's unusual for a horse to win over 1,200 and then still be able to win over 2,400. So it'll be his class that carries him through. He's been a little bit keen in his track work, so going the extra distance might pose a little bit of a problem. And I've seen in his races he's been travelling quite strong, so he needs to relax and give himself a chance to run the distance.
His trainer Danny Shum went on record after winning the QE2 Cup when James McDonald rode him, of course, that you're a big part of this team Romantic Warrior now. You've ridden him in 3 trials. Is this a little bit like sort of the kid at Christmas sort of thing? Because he's an exciting horse to get on, isn't he, really? He's
a very exciting horse to get on, for sure. It's a shame I didn't get on him at the start of the season and have been able to ride him all the way through. I've had to watch from back in the field as he's gone on to win these races, but I now get my opportunity and hopefully I can make the most of it.
It is the last Group 1 of the year. I guess to some people, obviously some very big races have been and gone, but this is an important race, isn't it, still on the calendar to try and tick another one of these off?
We don't have many Group 1 races here in Hong Kong every season. We have a limited number, so every race, every Group 1 race as well is important. I like to win all of them. I have won all of them and I want to win them again. So, you know, my job's to go out there and try and find the best position for him and give him his chance to win the race.
There is an extended chat with Zac Purton on Hong Kong Direct this week. You can join Nick. It's on the website hkjc.com. Click on audio and video and you can hear much more about Zac Purton and his thoughts. But we're going to hear much more now, Tom, about Romantic Warrior. This is the QE2, so we'll just get them underway down there at the 2,000 metre start and then we'll show you who's where. Obviously, Romantic Warrior. We all know his colours, the blue and white, and also Money Catcher. He ends up running fourth, but is able to get across and lead and was really able to dictate the race as he liked, but he's just been beaten by a super horse.
He has been, and he can get a bit keen sometimes, Romantic Warrior. So I thought this occasion, James McDonald again did a good job to keep him under control and got him into a lovely spot into that first turn with Money Catcher sitting up the pace, Paul, and set some very slow fractions that did Money Catcher. And he has got a little bit of form over 2,400 metres at New Zealand Derby where he ran 8th a couple of seasons ago, and look, he'll try and run it as slow as he possibly can, but whether he can sort of out-sprint horses like Romantic Warrior, I don't know. Yeah,
that's the question over the 2,400. I mean, as Zac said, I mean, he's been a little bit keen in his track work. You can see him pulling a little bit here, but the horse still had plenty left at the end and was way too good for these horses. So he did sprint off that slowish pace. I think it might be a little bit quicker with Senior Toba in the race because I don't think Casper will want the race run at a crawl with Romantic Warrior and sort of getting first run on Straight Aaron.
Yeah, I agree with that point there, and you can just see how much class he's got about this horse, Romantic Warrior, as he cuts away from them here. The only thing is he's just got to see out 2,400 metres. I don't see that being an issue.
No. All right, so both boys happy that he's going to run the strong 1.5 miles, Paul. Now, what about his track work? You see plenty of him during the week, and how's he been trucking along?
Yeah, he's been going well. He's been keen, as Zac has said. He's been working with Romantic Charm most of the week, and you can see him doing it nice and comfortably there once again.
Romantic Charm's out, so he won't be running, but Romantic Warrior fortunately is, and there is what he has done. Tom, nothing but class since his first start in Hong Kong.
Yeah, great purchase by the club, and of course the man who picked him up at the ISG sale, Peter Lau. He's won 10 of his 13 starts, and he's won from 12 up to 2,000 metres. Not often you see horses, Paul, that can go sort of 12 to 2,400 like he's doing.
No, exactly right, and just shows his class that that'll get him through, I think, on the day.
Comprehensive look at Romantic Warrior. We're going back to the Queen Mother Memorial now, and Straight Aaron is the first one we highlight. The winner is Midfield. This is from the 1,000 metre mark. Natural Storm in the red and black. Columbus County is down on the rail. 5G Patches on the outside of Russian Emperor. Panfield is back in the field. And Senior Toba, can't miss him, he's the grey, but he did race wide. So one of few 2,400 metre races we run here, Paul, and the main lead-up for the race on Sunday. What are you making of the form out of this to race number 8?
Yeah, well, this is this is a lot harder now for him. But look, the distance is not a problem with this horse. He's a young horse. He's come through the Derby, and he's now here in this race. 2,400 metres is absolutely no problems for him whatsoever. So, look, if anything does go Romantic Warrior, he's definitely the one. I think he's the main danger.
Yeah, it's going to be completely different this time round. He was actually given a really good ride here by Vincent. You can see him saving all the ground in traffic there, coming towards the home turn. And when they straighten up for the run home, he angles him out to what was the better part of the track this day, at this point of the day anyway, which was down the middle. So it was a terrific ride. Of course, this was at handicap conditions. He's probably, Paul, still got a little bit to find here at set weights in this Group 1 race. But yeah, I agree. If he gets the right sort of run, if something happens to the favourite Romantic Warrior, he's going to be one there to pick the pieces up, I think.
Yeah, I agree totally. And you can see him, he really fought on strongly. And again, it was testing conditions, as you said, and he did win nicely. So, look, Casper's got 3 in the race. I've got no doubt this is the best of the 3 of them, and he's a young horse coming through. You can see how slowly the race was run.
Yeah, and it's sort of hard to maybe, I guess, get a line on the race, Paul, because it was sort of rain-affected track, and a horse like Natural Storm, who does stay all day, was running 3rd.
Yeah, and you can see he wasn't too far away either from Straight Aaron, but we know he's good on top of the ground as well, Straight Aaron.
That is the Queen Mother Memorial. What about his track work since, Tom? Here he is bowling along on the turf track on the 25th.
He's going along quite nicely here and not really asked for too much, neither is his partner horse, but for three-quarter pace down the straight there. That horse to his inside is actually going around in one of the earlier races up to 1400 metres daily trophy.
Trained by Casper Founds, Paul, who's got a very strong representation in the race, and this is Casper's season so far.
Yeah, so not too bad season that Casper's had with those 45 wins to date. And look, he's got a really strong hand in this race with the three horses in it. It's just he's just found a really good one. Looking at through his runners, I think Packing Hurricanes on a hat trick. He's going really well. Kaholo Angel has already won a Griffin this season, daily trophy. I know Tom likes him, and his track work's been pretty good. And then the other three in the big race.
Yeah, and he had a bit of a lean patch sort of halfway through the season, did Casper, but he's really picked things up strongly over the last 6-7 weeks. He's had 9 winners across the last 10 meetings. He's trumped those horses in the last couple of races there, Dancing Code and Capital Legend.
Yeah, Dancing Code's only had one start. It was good, and he's been back to the trials and trialled well. Speaking of going back, 12 months ago, this is Russian Emperor. Very patient Blake Shin at the back of the field as we're about to roll the replay. Senyortoba is down on the rail. Panfield, that is him in the blue and white colours, and Columbus County, he's a little wider on the course. We haven't talked much about Russian Emperor so far, Tom. Where is he at 12 months later?
I thought it was a really good run the other day, Mark, in the Queen Mother Memorial Cup on ground that did suit him, but he was ultimately carrying top weight, giving weight away to the likes of Straight Aaron in the race. So I thought, Paul, there was a lot to like about him the other day. We know he's not just a wet tracker. He's gone across to the Middle East and performed there well. The other horse that hasn't really had much of a good season is Senyortoba. Certainly at the back end, he's been plagued by mucus.
Yeah, he's had those problems in the system, isn't he? So there's a query. I mean, Panfield won this race 2 years ago. If he's ever going to win a race or perform well, this is probably going to be the race. He stayed on okay here, but look, it was a good win here from Russian Emperor.
The other horse just running out a picture shot there, Mark, Columbus County. He ran a really good race the other day. He has run second in this race a couple of years ago.
He has, yeah, stuck to the fence too, as we saw in the Queen Mother Memorial. The track work, Paul, from Russian Emperor.
Yeah, right, it's been good. He generally works well. There had been a bit of rain around as well. So, look, we know he does like giving the ground. I mean, he can perform on top of the ground as well. There's no question about that. But I think he is better with a bit of give.
Yeah, and it's going to be fairly firm at Sha Tin on Sunday because we've had hot days, Mark, and we're expecting another really hot day on Sunday.
Yeah, we are indeed. So, as mentioned earlier, definitely no rain and rain-affected tracks on Sunday. We've broken it down, Paul. Does Romantic Warrior just win if he runs the trip?
That's the question. I mean, the query is if he does get beaten, it's probably going to be beaten by himself because he would have over-raced. I think he's definitely the class horse in the race. Set weight suits him. He's on top. Straight Aaron, the 2400 metre winner at his last start. Look, Money Catcher, we've seen him run pretty well in these top grades without winning, and he'll be in the front. I'll put Panfield in just on a very minor line because this is his right trip, but he's got some internal issues. 1-6-4-5.
I think Romantic Warrior definitely the one to beat, but you don't get many horses going from 12 all the way up to 2400 metres and winning through their career, but he could be the exception here. Romantic Warrior, Straight Aaron is in, Russian Emperor, and I thought Columbus County's run the other day was really good. Did get slightly tightened up coming towards the home turn, but ran a really strong race. So 1, 6, 2 and 7.
There it is, the preview for the Group 1 on Sunday. We're off to a break here on Racing to Win. Back to look at the 9th right after this. Welcome back to Racing to Win. Straight into race number 9 now, which is a Class 2 over the 1400 metres. And at the top of the book is the Hong Kong Macau Trophy winner, Red Lion. The Golden Scenery carries an extra £10. Sylvester has his first start since October. We've also got a Telebigil. His last run was in the Derby. Flagship Warrior, Hood and the Cross over noseband off. Eremo pacifies with cowls off. Blinkers again. Sunny Stars back in trip. And Majestic Colours having his first run in Class 2. Good field, this one coming up here, Tom. Who sits where?
And the speed here should come from Sylvester, who has barrier number 8 for Luke Ferraris and could ping out in front of them. He is first up for 217 days. Majestic Colour will be handy from barrier 1, and then you've got Eremo, who was up near the pace last time out. Blinkers have been put back aboard Eremo. Red Line probably shouldn't be as far back as he was last time out, Paul, from barrier 10, and back towards the end you've got Galaxy Witness, but pace might be a little bit questionable as well. Yeah,
I think it will be maybe good, but maybe even good to slow with not really a lead. It depends what Majestic Colour wants to do on the inside, because he's a horse that has led in the past. Alex Lybold from barrier 1, he might just put a little bit of extra pace into it.
And that is the speed map for race number 9. We've got an interview with a trainer that's got 2 runners in the race. It's Nick with Frankie Law.
Frankie, race 9, you're well represented with a couple of runners. Sauvest is one of them, and Majestic Colour. If we could start with Sauvest, he's had a bit of time on the sidelines. Just talk us through what the problem was with him, hence he's had so much time off.
He have the second time heart problem, so we need to give him 6 months. And so after we just trial 2 times, he trial good, yeah.
On that heart irregularity, I mean, the fact he has had that now on a couple of occasions, I guess that then becomes a bit of a sort of a niggle in your mind, doesn't it, with a horse like him?
Yes. When you see the horse, you think he will race won a good race, and then he got a problem. You can see, oh, he won bad. So you think he will have a problem, heart or the bleed. So he at that time is already have a 2 times a heart problem. So.
Yeah, one of those things, I guess. Obviously, you try and deal with it. Let's talk about his form, because his form overall is pretty good. We've only seen him a limited couple of times this season, but that form is quite strong, isn't it, with a horse like him?
Yeah, 1400, I think is his best distance. So that's why I just put him in the 1400 also.
He's raced well fresh in the past. I know he's never won, but do you think he's a better horse to try and catch fresh?
I think so, yeah. Every time when he first start, he won good usually, yeah.
Luke Ferraris rides him. He's ridden him a couple of times as well. I guess you've been quite impressed with his riding recently as well, haven't you? Luke's been riding really well.
Yeah, he won 1 time, finished second. He won good, yeah. So, podium also.
You've also got Majestic Colour in the race, Frankie. Now he's having a first going in Class 2, but he has got a light weight.
Yes, you know, every time in Class 3 he carry big weight, so he's not a strong horse. So maybe Class 2 lightweight should be better for him.
You put the blinkers on him last time as well. They'll stay on once again.
Yeah, in Australia he used blinkers, but when he arrived to Hong Kong, he's usually in the mornings a little bit keen, so that's why I use riser. And now I think we need to change. I think we use 1 or 2 times already blinkers. I
know you love a good barrier, Frankie. He's drawn in still number 1, so that's not a bad thing, is it?
Yeah, it's good. Usually you can see a few times his outside jaw make me headache, but now go up to Class 2, got a good jaw. I think should be easier. Yeah.
Just overall, 2 decent chances, you think, in this race? I mean, it's not an easy race, is it? But, I mean, your 2 horses certainly have chances.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
From Frankie, we move on straight to Red Lion here, Paul. Now, he was very good last time on a very rain-affected track, as you can see, but for the class drop, he has to carry an extra 19 pounds. The golden scenery wasn't as sharp here. Are you putting that down to the wet track?
I am, actually. I don't think he really copped the track at all. There's a lot of horses that will come out of this meeting, I think will improve on these runs. Look, Red Lion, he's won on top of the ground, so it wasn't really the ground for him. It was maybe just the margin really flattered him because of the ground. He's got to carry top weight with a wide draw. That just concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, he had a wide run in transit there, but it didn't matter. That was the best place to be in the end for a Red Lion. So things are not sort of set up here as ideally as they were last time out for him in the Hong Kong Macau Trophy.
Zac Purton, 3 rides for 2 wins, and that's where he currently sits for the season, Tom.
Yeah, he's sitting on 138, striking at 23.71 as a win rate there. He's got super bonus in the Griffin race, hit the shot over 2,000 metres, fingers crossed, Class 5. Stoltz down the straight. Trust me for Dennis Yip, Circuit Mighty, who's carrying top weight. Simple Hedger last winner, Romantic Warrior, of course. Red Lion, Supreme Lucky, he's got the ride there, and Helene Feeling in the last race, Paul.
His rides get better as the day goes on, don't they? I think his best ride's coming up later in the card.
So that is Red Lion and Zac Purton. Tom, we move on now to Galaxy Witness running second over the 1,400 metres. This is going back 5 starts because it's the same grade on the turf.
Yeah, and this is his go, 1,400 metres. Obviously, Connections were keen to try the Derby, but this is really his pet distance, and he's got a great chance, I think, here. Barrier number 11, he probably has to go back from that, but comes off a run on the all weather. But if he brings this sort of form, Paul, he's going to go very close here.
Yeah, it was a nice run and a strong field as well. So he just needs the pace on. That just concerns me a little bit. But look, you're right. I think 1,400 metres, he's a 2-time winner over the distance.
Some all-weather form now. Paul Eremos has a win and a second next to his name from his last 2 outings, and he's a 3-time winner on the turf over this trip.
Yeah, so look, the turf holds no problems for him as well, and I thought it was a strong win. He sort of found some good form. He beat Adderfield here, who we know is a really good horse on the surface. So look, I think Eremos going nicely at the moment. Barrier 6, he should get a good run as well.
As Mark said, enjoys course and distance. Of course, was runner-up in the Havana race, came out and won and absolutely hacked up here on the all-weather. So he's racing in really good form at the moment. He's a big chance.
And our final replay, Tom, is a Flagship Warrior. Now, he finished down the track in the Derby last time. He has had 3 trials since then, and this one on the 19th of May.
Yeah, so he's coming to the 1400 metres is Flagship Warrior, and the gears coming off. Didn't mind his trials coming into this. It's been 70 days since he's had a race day start, and he actually has never tried the 1400 metres. He's won over 12 and 1500 overseas, Paul.
Yeah, and look, and he did win his one race in Hong Kong fresh as well, and he'll be in that state.
Good race, quite an even race too, with the change in the weights for a few of them. Who did you settle on?
Yeah, I'm going to go for one. Hopefully he's going to start at double figures here in Sylvester. I think he can lead. I don't think his stablemate will take him on, and if he gets an easy lead, he can win. Red Lions obviously got plenty of good form. Eremo and the Golden Scenery, 3-1-8-2.
Do certainly like Galaxy Witness in this race for Casper Founds, and Karis Teton, 8 Eremo, 6 Flagship Warrior and 1 Red Lion, 5, 8, 6 and 1.
That is race number 9 on this 11-race program, Paul, which means you've got plenty of other winners to give us.
Yeah, look, Gallant Valor I thought could overturn Chang Ten Glory. I think they're the 2 main ones. And the first, Packing Hurricane can go well. The good deals in good form at the moment. We Are Hero has had a really new lease of life. Watch Buddy didn't like the wet track. Winning Data raced on a wet track. He should be a good price as well. Second up now. And also Supreme Lucky, I think, can win the penultimate with Smiling Collector, a good draw in the last.
Who's the pick of that list as the best bet?
Supreme Lucky. I really like Supreme Lucky in this contest in race number 10. I think he can beat Dancing Code, so he's on top. And Sylvester, the one that we've just highlighted, hopefully he's 11 at the moment. Hopefully he stays that price. We'll do the play in the last with Happy Together, Helene Feeling and Smiling Collector at QQP.
Best for me is race 7, number 4, Sybil Hedge, last start. Winner John Size, Zach Purton. I think he can strike again. He's only lightly tried. Daily Trophy up and trip up to the 1400 metres off a very encouraging first up run down the straight. Casper Founds, Hugh Bowman, bad barrier, however. Supreme Lucky, Good Buddy, Dancing Code in the 10th.
Race number 3, Class 5, what could go wrong? The Good Deal. He's got a good draw in good form. Douglas White and Luke Ferraris combined. He's had 3 starts for Douglas for a win and a couple of thirds behind Raging Blaze and Sunshine Legendary. Super Winners first up. Race as well. Fresh, he gets a £10 claim for Ellis Wong on the class drop. And he's had 2 trials to prepare for this. And the play, race 6, 1 Circuit Mighty, unbeaten in the grade, 2 Super Winner and 8 Urban Triumph, a chance for Brenton Avdulla, 1, 2 and 8 in race number 6. So that is a look at Group 1 day on Sunday. Tom, really good card, of course. Romantic Warrior headlines the feature. Then we're back to Happy Valley on Wednesday night.
Yeah, Mark, we've got 9 races coming up there. Class 2, 1800. Sword Point going to Happy Valley with the Nimble Nimbus there, Paul.
Yeah, seeing that for the first time. Sword Point, meaningful stars in good form as well in the same race.
That has been Racing to Win as we head to Sha Tin on Sunday. 11 races, of course, with that extra race being the Griffins getting underway at 12:30. This has been Racing to Win. We'll see you at Sha Tin this coming Sunday.